I got that fender stand you wanted, so you need some help here for a minute on this door?
Yeah, let me get this last bolt out.
All right. So what do you think the bottom of this door is going to look like?
What bottom of the door? All right, so we got the door frame off the car, and checking it out, there's definitely some areas in the bottom of the frame that we got to take care of. But the first thing we got to do is get this skin pulled. So to do that, we're going to use a 4.5-inch angle grinder with a flap disc, and we're going to run right along the edge of the skin here and actually get it to separate from the frame. Then we have to come back. There's a little piece of metal that'll be spot welded in still, and we're going to have to remove that. So let's get started. So removing that door skin with the angle grinder gave me no trouble at all. You saw it popped apart just moving along the edge there, and now that I have it open, I'm able to remove my inner window frame. That'll give me plenty of access to work on that bottom edge. Can I drop it? Can I drop it? Can I drop it?
No.
Can I drop it? Come on.
They didn't let me drop it. You believe those video guys? Worried about cleaning up, safety. So now that I got everything out, I got to clean up this door frame. I'm going to use our blast out of a bucket and really focus on the problem areas we got. The blast out of a bucket kit's going to be perfect for this because this door, there's no way it would fit in a true cabinet. Now that I got this whole thing cleaned up, I'm going to use our rust encapsulator. It's going to give me a nice clean surface to work with, and it'll give me all the corrosion protection I'm going to need. So with the inside of the door frame looking good, I got to take care of the outside. The angle grinder left a little thin strip of metal that I have to remove, and then I'll be able to tackle my patches. To deal with these thin strips of metal, I used a combination of our pneumatic body saw, our spot weld cutters, and our panel separating tools. Having a set of panel splitters is super handy. You're going to see me use these throughout this project. All right, so we got the rest of the door skin pieces cut off. We got this nice edge here that we can start doing our patches on. You see I got a patch I got to do here. I got a patch I got to do there. So let's start with this one. Let's cut the bad metal out, use it as a template, and start fresh. After I got the bad metal cut out, I made a paper template using some manila folders. Remember to always start out with a paper template and spend some time getting that paper template just right. It's always cheaper to screw up paper than it is metal, and the more time you spend on that template, the better your metal patch is going to fit. A great way to ensure straight cuts and perfect fitment is to use a thick Sharpie like layout fluid and then scribe on that Sharpie line. Also, use some stitch weld magnets to hold your paper in place while you're scribing your metal. In addition to scribing my cut lines, I also scribe my bend line. That's going to give me an accurate spot to make my bend. With my lines all scribed, I grabbed a pair of tin snips to make sure I get a perfect cut. With my panel cut, I threw it in the VersaBend to get the angle close to what I needed. And when you're doing these patches, just remember you're never going to get it perfect on the first try, and you may need to do some tweaking as you go. Before you weld your patch in, don't forget to grind down the area around your patch to ensure you get a clean weld. The MIG 135 is made for this type of welding. With its infinitely variable settings and 023 solid wire, you can dial in the machine just right for thin sheet metal. When you're welding thin sheet metal, chances are you're going to blow through. Having a copper backer around is going to help prevent that. It's going to let you back up that thin sheet metal and put some good heat into it. It's going to give you a nice clean weld, and it's not going to stick like steel would. So the patches on this door are just like any other on this car. We got to paper template it. We got to transfer it to metal. We cut it out, tweak it a little, weld it home. The more patches you do just like this, the more your skills are going to build, and the more you're going to be able to apply them to any part of a car. I'm doing this on a door, but you could be doing this on a floor, you could be doing this on the back of your car. Wherever you have a patch, the process is going to be the same. So like I said in the beginning, there isn't much to the bottom of this door. And I ran into a lot more patches than I thought I was going to have to do. It took some time. It took its toll on me. I learned a lot, but the crew was a little sick of it. But we did it. We got there. We did. Every last one. Really? Joe, come on, man.
Camera's recording.
So here we're using our slow cure panel epoxy, but we're using it a little different than normal. We're actually using it more like a liquid metal or a seam sealer. We're going to cover a weld area, and it's going to provide some corrosion protection and also some structural rigidity. Mark and I have been toying with this the last few months, and we're getting some good results. With the patches all in and everything sealed up, it's time to get this thing in primer. I'm going to use our 2K Aerospray epoxy primer, but before I do that, I got to hit this door frame with Fast Etch and Pre to make sure everything's clean and ready to go.
When doing small jobs like priming the inside of this door, I really like 2K Aerospray, and it's great because it's a 2-component paint system in a spray can. So instead of taking a bunch of time to mix paint and get your paint gun set up, you can just pop the bladder on the bottom of the can and shake. You are now getting the same results of a paint gun, but in a can. 2K Aerospray paint cans also last 48 hours after the can is activated, so I can use it on my other door as well.
Yo, dude, I thought you were going to have the door skin on by now.
Yeah, I'm getting there, but
I got to get this glass out of the window frame so I can get the window frame back in. I know, I'm thinking this is plan A.
That was a
You know,
consideration.
I think it's going to work really well,
might
and then
not-
I just got some little pieces to clean up.
That might
I
not be a
figure,
plan
you know,
A.
we're here in your side of the Eastwood here, so I can just make a mess. But no, I was reading on the internet. I got to get some lubricant in this seal.
Because that's
I
the
pulled-
only thing.
There was one nut here holding it on, and then this should just slowly pry out.
So 67 Camaro, the glass is just pressed in.
Pressed in, and it's got one nut holding it on.
So you're going to pry it out.
Yeah,
Without
actually, can I get a hand?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, geez, come right out. You're probably struggling until I got here. You know what
Yeah.
we need? You remember how Batman had the bat symbol? We probably need like an Eastwood guy symbol, like the plasma shades. Oh, you know that way, and when I have to come and save, when you need me to come save the day,
I would go the other way there, Randy.
go the other way,
Unless you want
like
glass.
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little gentler.
Oh, you know that way when you need me to come save the day, I know. I don't know how that works in the daylight because it seemed like whenever they did it was at night, but
You don't like get this feeling?
that it's not coming out in the middle.
Yeah. Well, that. But I mean
Oh,
also,
look at this!
when I need help,
So I'm saving the
you
day.
just know.
I sensed it actually.
Yeah.
Cody,
Yeah.
what'd you do?
Well, you guys were in your meeting. I took matters in my own hands, and I took the bottom of the window frame off, so we got that taken care of. You know, I know you wanted to get it for the web series, but...
So now that the film crew is back, what's next?
So while you guys were out, I took all the internals and I painted them. They're drying, and we're gonna want to install them before we get the skin on. That way we can verify fit, make sure the window regulator works, everything cranks. It'd be a real pain to try and do that with the skin on. My door frame's all painted and ready to go. My window regulator's in. Now it's time to get this door skin ready to be welded on. I'm going to use a pneumatic punch flange tool and run around the perimeter of the door skin and put holes every couple inches. This is going to be where I weld my door skin on, and it's going to hold that door skin on nice and tight. With the door skin prepped and ready to go, I'm going to use a door skinning hammer and dolly to start folding over the edge. Once the edge is folded over most of the way, I'm going to come back with a door skinning tool, and that's going to crimp the door skin edge over the door frame edge, creating a nice strong bend. With the door skin folded over, we decided to do a test fit. I'm super happy with how it fits and looks. This AMD sheet metal, it's great. Now it's time to start welding this in. To weld this door skin on, I'm going to use our MIG 135. I'm going to fill in all of the spot weld holes that I made using our punch flange tool, and I'm going to jump around the door to help minimize any excess heat and warping. The 67 Camaro, it's a 1 year only vent window. So I got to get these two tabs up top in just the right spot before I weld them in. To ensure I get my vent window tabs in the right spot, I'm going to use a digital caliper and measure my other door. Using that door as a reference, I can then locate those tabs on my new door in the right spot and weld them in place.
What are you doing, Cody? Polishing it up already?
Yeah, this AMD sheet metal, it looks so great, you don't even need paint.
And the best part is, AMD sheet metal is available right here at Eastwood.com.
Jokes aside though, this project, I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. It was pretty simple. All I had to do, cut that old skin off. I had a little bit of patchwork to do along the bottom of the frame. New skin fit right on, folded it over and spot welded it in place.
I'm sure it costs a lot less than paying somebody to do it too.
Oh, I wouldn't even know how much that cost.
Whoa, and look how good these plug welds look. Remember when you first started?
Yeah, I mean, the best way I found is just dive in and try. You know, in a couple projects, now I'm getting good results.
No, they look great. So what is the next project?
Next project's tackling the floor pan.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big one.
You think that's gonna go quick?
We'll see.
All right, well, I'll let you back to shining her up.
Thank you.
Why is this grinder in the trash?
Randy, you see those welds? I don't need a grinder anymore.
I like the confidence.